Hello guys, what's happening? It's Zach here, and I've got another random map game, and it's another noob game as well. I'm going to be continuing with these a little bit for the time being, because to be honest, I think they're quite good to watch, and a lot of people seem to be liking the fact that they can send me games and that I will look at them. So that's quite cool, and so for that reason, I'm going to do a few more of these until the start of the GML, which is the beginning of next week. Between then and now, sorry, now and then even. There is also the Sai Chinese Cup that is being held, and I will be taking a look at that as well if I can get the recorded games. That'll probably be before next week as well, and that'll be between two Chinese teams, Tyrant team and RVK team. So what have we actually got today? Well, we've got a guy who sent this in. I can't remember who it is because I believe the name which he sent it in to me is actually different to the name in game. But regardless, in blue we have Legend. Playing as Mongols down to the bottom left, and down to the very bottom of the map in green we have Luther. He is playing as Chinese, and these two are opposing each other. And then on the other side of the map in yellow we have Keon Gugubiji playing as Byzantines, and his opponent red, Mr. Twisties, playing as Teutons. So red and green teammates, blue and yellow teammates. And these guys have already started to wall off right now. And in Black Forest, especially the lower rated Black Forest games, it's unusual that we really see any action until we get up to the Imperial Age, because as you can see they're already starting to wall off now, and once the wall offs are complete it's likely that we'll see them boom through the Castle Age, get up to Imperial, and then start building their armies. So really it's a booming game up until you get up to Castle Imperial, that is, and then it's all about who does what and how they do it, I suppose. So really, at the moment, it's just working on their booms. We'll have a look at the civilizations and see how that could help. Teutons versus and Chinese versus Byzantines and Mongols. Byzantines and Mongols, it sounds like a very powerful combination to me. Red and green could struggle a little bit, but you got to bear in mind the Chinese player can make bombard towers. They can spam a lot of bombards. Chuko news, a lot of those as well. And they have a decent infantry line as well as that. But obviously the Mongol player here, the cavalry archers, so we'll probably see a lot of Mangadai from him, and probably quite a bit of siege as well. Mongols do have pretty decent siege, and that is very important in a Black Forest. Siege is great, especially with these narrow passageways. A few siege onager hits through here can do a lot of damage. And then, of course, on this side, we do have Byzantines versus Teutons. And Byzantines are such a great civilization. Cataphracts are absolutely brilliant. And to be honest with you, Cataphracts are going to be a real saving grace for yellow, I think, here. The Teuton player, obviously, going to be up against the Cataphracts, and that is not good for him, because it does mean that Cataphracts are super effective against infantry. Teutons, of course, being an infantry civilization. Where are we here? Teutons, infantry civilization, and they are going to be making champions, halberdiers quite a bit, and Teutonic knights, of course, which do get cut to bits by the Cataphracts. But they do also have, as Teutons, paladins available to them, and they also have hand cannoneers as well, which is kind of cool. And also, I want to point out as well that Byzantines camel civilization, they can make quite a lot of camels, and they can make very good camels, so they should really be going for camels over paladins if they're going up against Teutons, because it's likely that the Teuton player will be going for paladins. So I'm keeping things on fast forward for the time being, because these guys really are just working on their economies at the moment, starting to go up to the Castle Age now, and the green is already up to castle, as is yellow. So these guys doing pretty darn good. Red and blue are less so. So it could be a case that yellow pushes through to red and green pushes through to blue, and it works from there. But we'll have to see. Also as well, trade very important in a 2v2 game on Black Forest, as once the gold does go off the map and you're getting to the very late stages of the game, you're really going to want to be trading. And these guys are already setting up their trade now, and it's quite early to be doing so, but trade really does help towards the late game. The idea is to get up to about 40 trade carts. That's the ideal number, and that's going to really keep things ticking over. Yellow being the score leader here with 4 town centres, just going to be working on his eco consistently, as you can see, and stone walling this up now as well. Red probably getting maybe a little bit worried. Red spreading his economy out quite all over the place, but he has only still got one town centre, and there's a little bit of a disturbance going up to the castle age right now. A lot of resources already, as you can see, but he's really going to have to get out 2 more town centres, and his castle time is very poor. It does mean he has a lot less villagers, and yellow is really going to be storming ahead in the villager count. If we have a look at yellow here, 81, red on 44, so having those extra town centres really does make a difference with your villager production and the rate at which your economy booms. So it looks to me like yellow is going to have a very good time going up against red here. Green, on the other hand, doing pretty good too. He's getting ready with some archers and spearmen. I don't know if he's going to go for a castle age rush here. Could be interesting to see if he does do that. He's castle age now, not looking to go imperial by the looks of things. He's very low on food, starting to upgrade to crossbowmen, upgrading to pikemen, and making battering rams. He could be going for a very quick bust over here, and that could work out very well in his favour. Blue making a siege workshop on this side just to get some units out to protect against this, probably some mangonels, but green's going to come in. Blue's just upgraded to fortified wall, and that is going to keep him out for quite some time, and of course give blue some time to react to this and start to tech up and make some units. Looks like to me like it's going to be a while before he can get through here, and of course blue with this mangonel going to be able to do a fair amount of damage over on this side, and I really don't know why green is trying to push this in the castle age. It's very hard to actually break through in the castle age and do a lot of damage, especially if you've got 2 fortified walls to get through with your battering rams. Green probably going to really regret attacking here, I think, as blue is going to out-boom him and probably end up pushing through the gap once he reaches Imperial. But again, we'll have to see about that. And still, really not a lot going on. Yellow just starting to make some military production units now, and he's already up to the Imperial age. Yellow doing a pretty good job. A very good boom from him, and now getting that trebuchet out, he can start to push through. And as you can see, Cataphract is coming out as well, and this is really going to be the meat of his army. He's going to need a couple more castles to really sustain Cataphract production. And of course, once when you're going up against a Byzantine player, if you don't manage to kill their eco, go for the castles. They're so important that you take out the castles right here. He's also upgrading his trash units very early on. It's very often that we see trash wars in Black Forest, as once the gold runs out, you want to really be saving it and getting those trash units up. Yellow, a massive score leader here, and he's starting to push through already, so don't know why he's attacking this house. He could be breaking through this wall and getting ready to really push through onto red. Red looking to me like he's struggling a little bit here. He's only just got his well, he's gone for 4 TCs, but it's only just happening now, and it's going to be a little while, I think, before he's actually ready to really defend or attack or anything. Only 79 pop for him. Green coming forwards again with the rams. Again, I think he's going to regret attacking here, because it looks to me like he is not going to be breaking through there anytime soon, but he's probably under a lot of pressure because he knows that red isn't doing so great, and he's going to have to kill blue as quickly as he can to prevent blue from absolutely owning him, I suppose you could say. Blue with a castle here, decent situation to put it in a decent place, because green of course will be coming up through this way, and the castle will protect the majority of his eco, he hopes, and of course he's going to need the castle to make those manga die as well as that. So for the time being, really still not so much going on. Yellow just starting to make the cataphracts now, and I've got a feeling that yellow is going to carry this game. I know it's a little bit early to be saying that yet, but I've got a feeling that's what's going to happen. He's thought about this very much. He's already got his 3 markets up, and having a look at his economy, how much trade does he have? 7. He needs a few more, I think. He's definitely lacking some trade units, and he does have a lot of resources, so he can afford to get them. If you have a look at red, he's really starting to fall behind here, and he's building a castle, which is good, but of course Teutonic Knight's not going to be so useful to him, and a barracks as well, and really Teutonic Knights really not going to be good against cataphracts in this situation, especially if they get upgraded with the trample damage and the like. Yellow really does need to make another castle though. He's almost got enough stone for one. If you can stick another one up, maybe on this side here to protect his eco if green does break through, that would be a good position to put it in. Green's still trying to get through, but Blue now, of course, getting up to the Imperial Age. If I was Blue, I'd upgrade to Onager straight away. He already is doing that, so he's got a little bit of game knowledge there. And of course, Onager going to be able to absolutely flatten those battering rams, do so much damage. Also being attacked on this side, he's got a little bit of a fortified wall here. He can quickly reinforce. Out come the Mangadai as well. Mangadai is really good at taking out siege weapons. So, oh wait, no, that might be Chuko Nu. I can't remember. I'm not going to bother checking now. I'm pretty sure they're good against taking out siege weapons. If I'm wrong, then I apologise, but I'm sure, as far as I remember, that's right. Yellow's starting to get ready to attack now as well, and Blue is up against a little bit of ramage here, but I don't think he's too worried at all. It looks like Yellow and Blue really doing quite well this game. Red falling very far behind, as I say, only on 83 pop, but he's going up to the Imperial Age right now. He's got quite a lot of gold, and he's starting to make Teutonic Knights. I don't know if he's going to regret that. He probably will. Those cataphracts will probably trample all over them and do a hell of a lot of damage. He really does need a lot more military right now. He's got a lot of wood, he's got a lot of gold. Unfortunately even, archers aren't really the Teutonic strong point, and that is definitely not good. Mangadai coming in now as well, and getting flattened by that Mangudel, whatever you want to call it. That's not so good for him, but coming forwards with these villagers, I'm guessing he's going to go put a castle down here, and well, I'm guessing he is. No guarantees, of course. Collecting up the relics already, very important to do that. Oh, another siege workshop. That's still good. Let's have a look. Is he making a Onager? Yes, he is. Onager about to come out, and those siege capture rams will get flattened completely. But Green is in, and Blue is going to be a bit worried about this, I think. Green in with Arbalest right now, coming in with capture rams as well. Two castles very close together here, and it's not recommended that you do put your castles this close together. It's not always such a good idea, but nevertheless, Green is in, and Blue is trying to deal with him on this side as well. He doesn't really have any army either at this stage, making Mangadai over here, but really that's all he's actually got. You could be making some light cavalry or something like that. Obviously there's a hole in the wall now. You could go and raid Green's eco a little bit, but Green with a hell of a lot of rams, and Blue's going to have to respond to this very quickly, else he's going to be in a little spot of trouble. That's not going to be good for him at all, and Yellow really should be going to attack Red right now, but instead he's going to go help his teammate out with some cataphracts over here, and of course with the halberdier as well. And Yellow still without elite cataphracts, still with no upgrades either. Blue lacking upgrades also, and Green with the bracer upgrade now. So looks to me like Green really does know what he's doing. He's already got bracer and defensive upgrades. He's going to obviously need the upgrades if he wants to win this battle, but Yellow looking to me like he's going to be able to clear things up very quickly for the time being, and he's going to need to take out these rams and keep that castle alive. Of course, it's very important that they do that. Perhaps a little bit of an overreaction to Green's attack there. Green doesn't really have much behind it, and Yellow still not really attacking this wall, and he could be doing that unless he's just deciding to give Red a chance. But as I say, Red creating completely the wrong unit here. Making Teutonic Knights is not such a good idea when you've got cataphracts to deal with. Probably making Paladins would be the best choice for him, as they are really going to be quite strong in most situations against whatever the Byzantine player decides to throw out. And he's sending a lot of villagers over to Blue. Not sure what he's going to do with those. He might be building another castle over here or something. But for the time being, Blue being held back, and I'm going to speed things up a little bit until we get to something a little bit more interesting. Of course, Blue trying to rebuild this wall over here. Yellow helping out his teammate, of course, with these villagers. Going to build up some military production over here, it seems. Archery ranges and the like. It's always useful to have your military production buildings as close as they can be. And out comes the Onagers for Blue. Going to do a lot of damage to these Arbalests, and Green's going to lose a hell of a lot of army right there. A huge hit from those Onagers, and once you get Imperial, you've got to remember it's really important to upgrade chemistry. It does so much. It's just so much difference. Getting an extra attack on your archers, getting extra attack on your trebuchets, on ages, it all really does help, and that's a very important research to get. Yellow probably overreacting with the villages he sent over here, but he probably has a huge economy, so he's probably not too worried about that. How many trade carts does he have? That's the question. Well, right now he has 17, so he's about halfway to getting up to 40, which is what he needs. And it looks to me like it's going to be 2v1 on green for the time being. Red's caught himself a little bit of a break, and he's starting to build some military production over here, so he can perhaps help out his teammate with this push. But really, again, so not so much going on. At 45 minutes in, perhaps you'd expect a little bit more right now. Still making some Teutonic Knights, it seems, and some Mangonels as well. But this wall is still intact, and not a lot happening over here. All the action, of course, being down this area here. Green having a little bit of an unsuccessful push through on this side, and now that castle going down with the fire from Blue's trebuchets, they could really start to push forwards here with the trebs and do quite a bit of damage. Looks like Green is actually upgrading, or he accidentally made a, yep, there we go, he's upgrading man-at-arms, and he's going to be upgrading all the way up to champion, I imagine. I don't really know why he's decided to do that. Cataphracts, again, going to be able to cut through champions pretty quickly. Byzantines with the Mangudai, if they're microed well, then of course they're going to be able to kill the champions very quickly as well. And he's actually not upgrading those man-at-arms, he's just queuing them up. Not really sure why or what or who or when, but yeah, he is doing that. He's starting to make a lot of barracks now, and he might even be considering starting to spam. He could of course do a lot of spam in here and do quite a bit of damage with that. He's got a lot of wood and quite a bit of food he will have very shortly, so perhaps he could do that. Long Swordsman's just been upgraded right now, and I imagine he'll be going for champion very shortly indeed, starting to make a lot of barracks to start pushing on through. But of course Yellow will be able to do so much damage with those cataphracts. They are now elite of course, but they are missing their upgrades. They do need attack upgrades and such, and now these rams again going to get flattened. Siege rams really not very useful sending them in on their own. They're not really going to do much that way. Blue of course going to move forwards now with his trebs. Trebs probably going to get rammed here, and rams are a very good counter to trebuchets. They do take them out very quickly indeed. Blue of course going to move these these onagers forwards, and he could upgrade to siege onager. That would be pretty useful. They do a hell of a lot of damage, and they can cut through trees of course as well, which make things like this a lot easier. You can cut through trees and cut around, and that's one of my favourite tactics in Black Forest. Upgrade to siege onager and then cut through here for instance, and then just go and surprise attack him. That's always fun to do. Green now on two-handed swordsman, champion upgrade, got to be somewhere on the way shortly, otherwise he's just going to be mad. He's got quite a bit of food and gold. In fact, he hasn't got enough food to do the upgrade, it seems. Red still sort of chilling with his mangonels, not really doing that much, really sort of failing to spend his resources. And I think I was saying this the other day, you've got to spend your resources, get the upgrades, get the resources spent. If you've got too much, make some more military production buildings, just get the resources down. Look, Red could be making 3 castles here, and he could be spamming well, Teutonic Knights, even though they're not going to be that useful in this situation. He could be doing it, and that's what matters. He could be making heavy scorpions, he could be doing anything like that, but he's not, and he needs to spend all of this and start attacking with it, because if he doesn't spend it, it's really not going to much use, and he can't really help his teammate out either. Green starting to struggle a little bit here, it seems, against Red and Blue's combined attack. They need to be moving forwards consistently though, continuing to push forwards all the time. That is what should be done. Looking like Yellow is getting about ready to attack through here. For him, he just needs the cataphracts, and he should be able to clear up pretty much everything that Red has on the field. Not really sure why he's making crossbowmen, because if you actually have a look, Mr. Twisties, at your tech tree here, you don't have Arbalest available to you, so crossbowman really isn't such a good choice. Though it does look to me like he will be upgrading Paladin. He could upgrade Paladin right now, but he is going to upgrade that, of course. But he is going to need more military production buildings, and that is the really important thing. Military production. But Mongol player now upgrading to siege onager. That's a good choice to make, and it looks like he's going to come round, green this is, push forwards onto this location here, and with the mangonels behind it, with the siege rams and the champions, he could do quite a good push. But of course these siege unagers gonna be able to do so much damage if they get in there. All of those champions probably gonna die if they hang around there too long. Not really sure why Green decided it was a good idea to send the champions forwards with the crowd, but his army just got absolutely cut to bits, and now he really doesn't have that much left, because Blue just flattened it with 2 unagers. What a shame. What a poor display from that guy there. And going to be able to take out pretty much everything in his path at the moment, it seems. He just needs to get a couple of hits with these siege unagers, and he's absolutely wiped out everything in his path. Never doubt the power of the siege unager. Still waiting for something to happen over here. Looks like Yellow getting ready to push through right now with his cataphracts, with his bombard cannons. He could do quite a bit of damage against this army, but Red's looking like he's about ready to outnumber him. He really could do with some heavy scorpions. They're really great. They can get in here and do a lot of damage to units coming in through small spaces. So that would be pretty cool if he did do that. Looks like he's getting ready to attack now, and Yellow, he's really close to population cap. He could do with quite a lot of cataphracts in this situation. He's kind of missing a few. Perhaps he's got a little bit too much economy, not refreshing his lumber camps. Very important that you do that. But look, for the time being, looking like he's got a lot of resources, and he can actually afford to go and attack, because if he goes in there now and attacks, he's going to be able to replenish his army very quickly indeed. He is, of course, going to lose this battle. Teutonic Knights, they're not elite, but Paladins, they are going to be able to do a lot of damage to him, and the Paladins probably going to win this little battle, because Yellow doesn't have any upgrades at all, whereas Red does have +2 attack, +1 defense, so the cataphract's probably going to die very slowly but very surely. Red just needs to actually go and engage and actually attack this. Pardon me, I'm not sure why he's not doing that. He could be. Really a bit of a stalemate here. They could be pushing forwards with the unagers. Start of Elite Mangudai coming out right now, Legend. Still really far from population cap. He could be population capped by now and really pushing through onto Green. He has got a lot of resources, a lot of food, a lot of wood. Not much gold, but I don't think he's really got enough trade carts at the moment. He's starting to make them now. Just starting to catch up and realise he needs to do that. Yellow looks like he's going to go spam some halberdier in there, and he needs to come forwards with his trebuchets and bombard cannons as well when he does attack, so that he can really push forwards and try and take the castle out. As I say, really not a lot going on, really. Just little attacks on the left and little attacks on the right, but not some massive battle or anything. Red's starting to actually make a lot of units now. He's actually starting to spend his resources. He's nearly at population cap. He's got quite a lot of resources still, and he's got quite a lot of military, and this is a very strong army. Teutonic Knights and Paladins. He only needs to upgrade them to Elite Teutonic Knights, and they're going to be extremely formidable. Of course, countered by cataphracts and countered by halberdiers. It does make a pretty good army, but Red actually very good army composition as well. Hand cannoneers behind it, so Red could end up doing a pretty good attack on this side, and that would really change the pace of this game, to be honest with you. And to be fair, I think Red doing a pretty decent job actually now. He's actually started to spend his resources. To be fair, he could have been in this position a good 15 minutes ago had he spent his resources a little bit earlier on, but for the time being, he's just going to be making his army quite slowly, but he's still going to make them. That's the point. Yellow, with his bombard cannons there, going to be able to take out some of these paladins. And to be fair, I think Red really should make some siege. He's got bombard cannons of his own. A trebuchet really wouldn't hurt, and he could really push this, because Yellow doesn't actually have any army whatsoever. He could do so much damage if he pushed through, got some paladins into his town, and started killing his villagers, especially if he comes back here. It's a lot of dead villagers if that happens. Over on this side, we do have quite a bit of big attack coming in from Blue, and moving forwards with his Mangudai right now. Siege Onager still intact, and of course he does need to make some more trebuchets as well. Doesn't really want to get in range of this castle too much though, because that will really do a lot of damage to him. Green coming in with light cavalry, not going to be able to do so much with that either. And Red now starting to push forwards on Yellow's side with his bombard cannons as well. He's starting to realise that I actually do need to use my bombard cannons here. Start getting through that wall, and if he does get through the wall, then he could be in a decent situation. I'm not really sure why he's attacking the wall with his paladins though. It's going to take forever to get through there, and he's going to take a lot of damage from the bombard cannons. Yellow throwing in some archers for good measure. Why not? But he's just wasting his army here. He needs to take the wall out before he sends his paladins in. Though if he does take the house down, then he could just get through there very quickly and start to push. There we go, he's through with his paladins. They're going to get cleaned up very quickly, and he has no army left because he basically just fed it all to yellow. Standing there, attacking that wall, really not much use to that at all. Yellow had him killing all of his army right there. Really bad attack from him, actually. See what's happening on this side. Taking out the castle. Green really struggling here, I think. It looks to me like blue could actually push forwards and win this game for them. He just needs to actually get in there and do the damage, to be honest. A lot of light cavalry coming in though, and he just needs to make more Mangudai. If he makes more Mangudai, he could win this game so easily. Just look at that, 155 pop. He's not even got 200 pop available to him right now. And look how much resources he's got. He just needs to keep queuing the Mangudai at these castles, and he'd be able to do a hell of a lot of damage to Green here. Still sort of waiting for something to happen. Red's actually starting to push forwards a little bit now. He's starting to queue some more units. Still not upgraded to Elite Teutonic Knight though, which is kind of interesting. He's got so much gold available, he could do that pretty easily. And of course he does have Paladins on the way as well. And really, he just needs to start moving forwards and attacking. Yellow really doesn't have that much. A few arbalests and a few halberdiers should be easy enough to counter with paladins and hand cannoneers. Yellow, of course, not making any cataphracts, and that is a big problem because he needs the cataphracts in order to kill off the Teutonic Knights. In come the light cavalry on blue's side. Blue going to be able to deal with that so quickly. His siege and age is getting in there. He's upgraded chemistry now as well, which gives his elite Mangudais their final upgrade. I think, oh no, he's missing one defensive upgrade, but still he should be able to push forwards here and actually finish Green off, I should think. Yellow just needs to do the same, and this is why I don't really like Black Forest, because it gets so stalematey, and everyone's just fighting over this little tiny gap in the forest, and although it's kind of fun if you like looking at lots of big battles and stuff, it really doesn't progress very fast at all. Yellow making a hell of a lot of bombard cannons and trebuchets, and red really with just everything's kind of messed over this side. It's really messy, and he needs to sort of get it together. But I do think that blue should be able to push forwards. He just needs another trebuchet, and he should be able to take out that other castle. Starting to queue Mangudai up at long last, and he can actually afford another castle now, which is probably recommended if he puts the castle back here in his economy somewhere, maybe here, just to protect himself. He could make even more Mangudai and keep his population up. I don't think blue has actually reached population this whole game, but still look how much resources he's got. He could just be spamming so many units right now and keep up to 200 population and just keep pushing. You gotta take away that fear of attack, because if you don't attack, then you end up sitting in your base and you get attacked and then you die. And that's probably what's going to happen to red here, unfortunately for him, because yellow's starting to push forwards now. He's coming in with the elite cataphracts as well. The Teutonic Knights are going to die probably, and to be fair as well, you've got to be very careful when you're attacking. Don't send 1 or 2 units at once, send your whole army, otherwise you're just going to end up feeding them. And as you can see, in come the Teutonic Knights. The cataphracts are going to be able to cut through them so quickly. They're dead, and now of course the cataphracts are going to be able to go and deal with the hand cannoneers as well. Lots of bombard cannons coming forwards, trebuchets coming forwards as well. Yellow's decided that this is it, he's had enough. He's going to go and launch his attack right now. That castle is probably going to go down, and once it does, yellow is going to be able to continue to push forwards, because there really isn't much else protecting red's economy back here, and yellow should be very easily able to deal with this. He needs to take out those mangonels though. That is something he does need to be very careful of, and there we go, pushing forwards with his bombard cannons. The castle's going to go down, and yellow has so much resource right now. Look at that, 10k gold, 10k food. He could just spam units all day long. There's no reason why he shouldn't have attacked before, because look how much resources he has. He's just going to be able to consistently replace his army as soon as it dies. Over on this side, blue starting to make heavy scorpions, again with the siege and agers as well, flattening everything that green has. And I think this is about it for their team now. I've got to say this game's probably going to go to blue and yellow at this stage. Waiting for this castle to go down. It's slowly being chipped away at, and blue can finally start pushing forwards, especially with these heavy scorpions. They're going to be so deadly in this little gap. I freaking love heavy scorpions. They're one of my favourite units, I've got to say, and they just do so much damage when they're all bunched up like that in a small gap. There we go, taking out that trebuchet, and it looks to me like if they take out this castle, green is going to be pretty much undefended. He really doesn't have much army left whatsoever. Yellow pushing forwards as well. Going to take out this castle. I've been saying that for a while, but the castle is still standing, just waiting for that to be taken out by these trebuchets. There we go, it's gone, and the elite cataphracts is coming forwards now. And if you have a look how much resource yellow had left, there is no reason why he wouldn't have attacked earlier, or he shouldn't have attacked earlier. He should have done it. And he would have won the game a lot earlier for them as well. And that's the thing with these games, and a lot of games that I've been looking at recently that have been sent in by you guys, just attack earlier. There's no reason to wait. Just attack, and if you realise that your opponent's outnumbering you, then withdraw and make some more units and then attack. And all the while you can work on your economy as you do that. And there really is no reason to sort of wait around with your army sort of mulling up. Just make a lot of military production, especially if you have this much resources. Make a lot of military production and really just start spamming those units, because it doesn't matter, even if they are really weak units like halberdier and or skirmishers. If you're consistently at 200 population, eventually you're going to wear your opponent down, and that's probably what's going to happen here. Yellow going to be able to take out this second castle from red. Red not going to be able to do much to defend against it, throwing up a bombard tower, because of course if the castle goes down, the bombard tower will stand. Unfortunately no, it won't, because the trebuchets will take it out as well. Whilst it does do quite a lot of damage to cataphracts, the trebuchets still outrange it by double, so it's really not going to be able to do that much. Blue pushing through now as well, and he's got a lot of siege. He knows that cataphracts, not cataphracts, mangadai, heavy scorpions and siege onagers are the way to go for the Mongol player. And yellow gonna go take out that bombard tower now, and he should be able to just push through and kill red, I should think. There's no reason why red should be able to defend against this now. He's still putting up bombard towers, but yellow, come on, just push, just go forwards. You've got nothing to hold you back. There is absolutely nothing there to prevent you from winning and taking this game. Same for blue. You could be pushing forwards and killing things off very quickly indeed, or even raiding with your mangadai. If you, wow, that's a lot of light cavalry. I don't know if he legitimately thinks he can win the game with that, but I suppose he's going to have a lot of food to spend. You're really low on resources now as well, and starting to spam these units. Look, a lot of light cavalry there, and I'm interested to see how long they last against these heavy scorpions and mangadai. Please attack with these guys, come on, you know you want to. There's my alarm going off, ignore that. And again, yellow could be pushing forwards, but he's not. All he has to do is move his trebuchets to here and unpack them, and they'll automatically attack everything and wipe everything out. Just waiting for green to attack with these light cavalry. I'm really interested to see what he does with these. Come on, please. Please attack. I just want to see this army decimate them. Or they're saying that it might have a little bit of a hard time, we'll see. Here we go, he's going in now. Let's see how much Blue's army deals with this. I imagine they're going to be able to absolutely rip through all these light calves. Here we go, they're coming in right now, and yep, that's a lot of damage done by the heavy scorpions, a lot of damage done by the mangadai, and they are all dead. Pretty much no losses taken whatsoever. He's just feeding him right there. So again, yellow, come on, come forwards, attack with your trebuchets. You can win this. Come on, I believe in you. and yeah, at the moment there really isn't much to say about this. Just already, I've said everything really. Just don't be afraid to attack, especially when you've got that many resources. What have you actually waiting for? Maybe yellow's actually just tabbed out and he's having some tea or something, and he's just queuing up some units occasionally, and then getting ready to attack. But he's got no resistance. Red has no units whatsoever, apart from these few halberdiers here, which again going to get absolutely shredded because he's got a very large arbalest and a very large cataphract army that will kill halberdiers very quickly. And again, green going to try and spam units in here. They're going to die. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Just wait for green and red to resign. And I'm sure they will pretty shortly, because they really haven't got that much resources left in comparison. And yeah, just waiting. What's red doing over here? Still making Teutonic Knights. He's still not got the elite upgrade. Not that that really makes much difference. And now he's panicking. He's finally making all of these military production buildings that he should have had earlier, and going to start spamming halberdiers over there. And he could even push yellow back if he does do that, especially if he throws in some Teutonic Knights as well. But of course, it's too late. He could have done this before, and he could have killed yellow by now. Looks like they're just going to push forwards on this side. Green has resigned. Red will shortly resign, and there we go. GG. That was, whew, that was fun to watch. No sarcasm there. It can be frustrating for a newer player when they're playing this kind of situation, because they're just like, well, why did I lose? Why did I lose that game? And it's quite simple. You just didn't keep the pressure on. You had a lot of opportunities. Red here, for instance, he could have took down this gate or attacked this area for so long and actually done a lot of damage to yellow while he was helping out blue down this side. You just got to kind of bite the bullet and go for it. And at the end of the day, if your attack is unsuccessful, you can always fall back, because if you were just holding your defense, eventually you're going to get whittled down and whittled away anyway. So that's pretty much all I've got to say about that. And yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I've been Zach, and I will see you next time.